My buddy gave his prom date whiplash. Senior year of high school, senior prom. Me and my buddies, I'm not going to lie, I went to an all guys Catholic school. A lot of people with their parents' money, so you get a lot of nice cars out for prom. And not just parents' money's people, you got people who take really good care of their cars and shit and clean them up for prom. I think most people know that, or your truck or whatever it is. And I loved my car, but I wanted something, memorable for my senior prom, so I saved up some money from my job at the time and I rented a Mustang. So me and my buddies all had our cars for prom, and especially my closest friends from high school, 7'5", Beef, Griff, the usual suspects, we were just very reckless drivers growing up in high school. So we go to prom. On the way in, I frickin' curbed my Mustang when I went in the parking garage because we had our prom at one of the boxes at Paul Brown Stadium, one of like the private rental places. And prom that night was fine. That was the night we snuck on the Bengals field. When we were leaving, you would drive, like, I think it was like 15, 20 minutes to the after prom location and hang out there for the rest of the night. Our school was kind of strict. Like, you had to check in at after prom. You couldn't go to like an after party and stuff until later on, just because that was the school's policy for whatever reason. Anyway, we are leaving for after prom, and I'm in my car with my date, and my buddy Griff is parked next to me, and his mom had just gotten this Nissan Maxima. It was a sweet car at the time that he took to prom. In the Bengals parking garage below the stadium, they had these huge concrete medians. They're like walking past to the elevators or stairs or whatever, but if you weren't paying attention, they really did look like you could just pull straight forward. You couldn't see like that big curb, but most of us knew the curb was obviously there. So me, Beef, and Griff had said to each other, let's race to after prom on the expressway or whatever. So as we're getting ready to leave, I'm in the Mustang and I'm revving it, just being a jackass in the parking garage because it sounded, echoing in the parking garage, which was just fun. And I look over to my left and Griff's there revving his engine. And I don't remember if Griff thought the curb wasn't there. And I'm talking like a 8 to 10 inch curb of just straight concrete in front of every parking spot. And I don't know if Griff forgot it was there and just thought he could pull straight forward, or if he thought he had his car in reverse. But he was kind of throttling his car, throws it in drive. You just see it, and you hear that horrible like scratching sound on the paneling and stuff underneath. And his prom date, no joke, her head just woo woo like slammed down on on the dashboard and then got thrown back. Like Griff, I don't know if it's because he was a little bit more prepared for it, but his head did not get hit as hard as hers. I mean, she was not ready for it. Wham! I'm telling you, I think he said her makeup. There was like a mark of her makeup on the dashboard, but her head got drilled, which ended up being karma because she turned out to be kind of not a very nice person later on that we all discovered. But oh my God, I was laughing. Me and my prom date were laughing our asses off, and Griff just drove across the rest of the median and just dropped down on the other side and got out and checked. There wasn't any significant damage or scratches on like the visible body of the car, so it was all good. And then we left. And a funny side note: when we were leaving, me, Griff, and Beef were all racing, and we're going across the Brent Spence Bridge. Well, I'm punching it in the Mustang because I'm like, I'm not gonna get a chance to drive a car this nice for a long time, so I'm gonna fucking make the most of it. Fly like 9,500 miles an hour across the Brent Spence Bridge, weaving in and out of cars, and I got my music playing, and Beef calls me, and I'm like, why are you calling me? Like, damn it, answer. He's like, dude, your headlights are off. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. I turned my headlights back on, and then we went to after prom. But that was just one of the funniest. To this day, I could still picture Griff's date's head wham hitting the dashboard and snapping back up. I mean, it was one of the funniest things I had ever seen. Just the pure impact of her, whoom, full throttle. And like I said, it worked out fine because Griff's car ended up being Griff's mom's car had no damage or anything, so it worked out. It was just it was a fun night. I would say like one of the toughest things about my high school friends, like hanging out with them now, there's a lot of people that just, they don't believe in your dreams. And I would say in general, not just with this specific example, but if you have a dream or an idea and you think it's good, do it. Don't listen to what anybody has to say. There's always going to be doubters. There's always going to be non-believers. There's always going to be people that think you can't do it. And sometimes those people might be in your inner circle. Like, shit, Beef, Griff, 7'5", they're some of my best friends, and I can't even get them to come on and, publicly talk about our stories on a podcast without using nicknames or hiding their identities, just because it's not the time, right? They're not ready for it. And I've accepted that. I'm not mad at it. I get it, But that's probably one of the toughest things about still being around my hometown and seeing people from high school is there's some people just had some of the biggest dreams and aspirations that, and I don't know if it, by choice or, by getting stuck in that 9-to-5 grind or just kind of giving up on it, but some people just give up on their dreams, and it's just, don't do that. If you have a dream, pursue it, and it's going to get tough and lonely. Trust me, I'm going through it right now. Like, you have a lot of lonely days where it feels like nobody understands you and nobody sees the vision, and that can eat at you sometimes. But it's just one of those things. Like, I love my friends, but it's so frustrating to have a vision and a dream that involves them, because it's like, dude, do you not see how funny you are, or how talented you are, how entertaining you are? Because, like, I want them to be a part of it, whether it's on camera talent or just, people helping me behind the scenes. Like, I fully plan on bringing my team of friends with me. So it just drives me crazy when they don't see the vision or they don't believe that they can do something, because it's like, dude, I wouldn't be here telling you that I want you to come with me if I didn't believe in you. For all the people out there who do have a vision of, having a business with your friends or starting something big with your friends, make sure your friends believe in it, because if they're not ready to go with you through, the good times and the bad, they're not really there for you. Everybody wants to be there after the check clears. Everybody wants to be there after you get that verified check mark next to your name. That stuff always, always, always brings people that just want one thing, which is wealth. But success and wealth take a lot of fucking work, and you want the people who are there with you during the work, not the people who just want a handout at the end. So keep that in mind, all my dreamers of the world. And yeah, that's my podcast. Talks with Tom. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be out